Now, you use it every day, hopefully at least twice, and it's key to good oral health. Chances are, though, you probably don't give your toothbrush much thought.
But is it time to get a new one? And should you do it sooner rather than later if you've had COVID? It's part of our daily routine, a key piece of kit for keeping those pearly whites clean. Your toothbrush. But when was the last time you replaced it? And how often should you chuck it out and change it? Can you even remember? And for more on this, we're joined by Dr. Andrea Shepperson, who's a dentist. Thanks for your time, Andrea. Give us the bad news. How dirty are toothbrushes?
Well, they say that the mouth is the dirtiest end of the alimentary canal. So on the basis that you're sticking a toothbrush into your mouth, it's pretty dirty. When they take samples off a toothbrush, obviously it's going to pick up your microbiome. So that's the array of bugs that are in your mouth, the little community that lives there, and that's a little bit different for every person. But also, interestingly, toothbrushes actually reflect the environment too. So they'll pick up organisms that are living in your bathroom. If you put it down on the basin and your husband's just had a shave and he's put his razor down, you might pick up some skin cells. If you put it on a mouldy windowsill, you know, in a Dunedin student flat, for example, you might get some mould spores on there. So they're fairly dirty things. But generally, if we keep them to ourselves, then they're mostly our bugs.
I'm slightly grossed out, and I'm a bit concerned about that I'm not changing my toothbrush as often as I should. How often should we change them?
The recommendation is that you change them every 8 to 12 weeks. So, you know, sometimes we say we'll change them when the season changes would be a good idea. They are a source of cross-contamination, and, you know, one of the things that we definitely recommend is that you don't share a toothbrush. And that, of course, has implications at the moment. Well, intriguingly, the Oral Health Foundation in the UK did a study, and they found that 25% of people in the UK were willingly sharing their toothbrushes.
No.
I know that sounds hideous. I haven't got data on Kiwis, but it has implications, obviously, at the moment because we're in the midst of a pandemic. And so toothbrushes are a source of cross-contamination, and it doesn't mean that you have to share your toothbrush. It might just be sitting next to your partner's toothbrush, you know, in a holder.
Is it the same for electric and manual in terms of changing them?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
absolutely. So we would recommend again that you change them in that interval. When they get splayed, after about 3 months, they're not as effective.
Andrea, if you've had COVID, should you throw it out and get a new one regardless of how old it is?
I think, Jeremy, that's a good recommendation. You know, there, once again, for the cross-contamination reason, that the UK study also found that about 55% of people who shared their toothbrushes in a household transmitted COVID to other family members. So, and once again, as I said, it might just be toothbrushes sitting next to each other in a holder that's doing that. So I think when you've had any kind of infectious disease that's transmissible, it's recommended that you dispose of your toothbrush and get a new one. They also found in a similar way that, you know, swiping the top of the toothpaste and sharing that in a household was a contributing factor too.
Oh, that's a good tip. Okay, I need separate toothpaste, and I'm picking up from what you've said already that I shouldn't be storing it anywhere near my husband's toothbrush. Where is the ideal place to store my toothbrush then?
The best place to store it is somewhere where it's going to be upright and it can dry out a little bit. If you've got, you know, sunlight coming in somewhere in your bathroom, that's helpful. It just, you know, helps a little bit with the drying process. And bacteria tend to thrive in moist environments, so putting a cover on your toothbrush, putting it in a drawer is usually not recommended. So upright where it can drain and just dry out is good.
Fantastic advice. Thank you so much, Andrea. Great to talk to you.
You're welcome.
Parts of that discussion were a bit gross. Sorry about that for a Friday night. Fancy people sharing toothbrushes. I can't believe that so many people share toothbrushes. And you're quiet? You do. You don't. You don't. Please tell me you don't share a toothbrush.
I'm one of the 25%. What's wrong with that? I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to point out, lots of people are yelling at their TVs right now. You can afford to have 2 toothbrushes. You and your partner can each afford to have a toothbrush.
We do have two.
Why would you?
We've got an electric one.
Right.
But they're expensive. There's only one of those.
Fair enough, but
We
you can
share that.
swap the head on it.
Yeah, but you can't remember whose head was which.
But they have little colour things that you put on the bottom.
I can't remember which colour I was. So I'll use that. Not if someone's sick, no. At that situation, no.
What? I just feel like you sit so close that even I'm picking up. I mean, I thought I was exposed to one person, but now it turns out I'm exposed to two.
Well, hold on, but you're in a relationship with someone. I mean,
Do you
you're
share
sharing.
towels?
Absolutely. You're sharing, let's just say,
No.
you're sharing more than just a toothbrush.
It's a family show. I lost for words.
We have children together. Not us.